stops it. And whenever the timer's on, that means it's going.
Only thing I see is where you got me at the top over there, those are these ones here, I was not here.
Same with me, I wasn't here.
Is that the only corrections we need? Can I get a motion to accept the minutes with corrections?
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Second.
Also,
All in favor? Any opposed? Minutes approved as from August, July, from July, okay.
make a motion to go into executive session.
We have a motion to go into executive session. Get a second. All in favor? Any opposed?
It's not on the agenda.
One opposed? Okay. You want to go into executive session? Or do you go into executive session?
Is that turned off? Since we're in executive session, is that turned off?
Now we're going over our regular business. Okay, unfinished business, our hazmat is for our second reading, for our hazmat policies.
I'd like to nominate the board to table this policy until we can make changes.
We have a motion that we table this policy.
How far we got along with?
This will be our
To
second.
hit on that a little bit, he put me in charge of writing policy, and it was wrote with the understanding that the hazmat team was going to be put back in service, which has been held off. So right now, if this policy goes into effect, it's really, we can't follow it because nothing on there is in place for it. We do not have a hazmat. We do not have a special operations team. We have some equipment, but it's pretty much non-existent. So either we're going to have to revise this, or scale it down, or until we can get something going.
How far do y'all want to pass this on to go to?
That's going to take discussions with the chief of the department to see where we are with hazmat response.
Pete?
I mean, I'm good with tabling it until we can figure out some budget stuff and figure out what's going on with special ops stuff and try to get that organized first. I do think that we need something updated on that.
But the same SOG as Columbia Fire Department doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We go back to table it for at least 6 months and come back to it.
No, I don't think that's good. I don't.
You think you do that long?
No, I mean, if chief is good with modifying this to something that meets the current response capabilities of the county, I think that's a fair assessment.
I'm afraid it is.
Right. Then it can be amended and added to, but to give a full-blown level 4 hazmat SOG to this county, it's just unfair to the department.
Right. What's the recommendations on how far we carry it, be taken?
I don't know, why don't we have like during the meetings, just have like a monthly update on where they're at, the progress they're making. That way,
And, it's pretty much, it can be updated as we go along, just make
You want to just go over it?
by next month, we could have some amendments to
Let us know what the amendments want to be next month, and we can work on
it's
them.
gonna take some work. The biggest issue is, some equipment.
Carry over the next month, or carry over month by month.
Yeah, why don't we have an update every month? And if I would be, where we stand, what finances we need to go forward.
What equipment?
it's kind of how, I mean, like I said, I wasn't here last month, so I'm just asking questions. You kind of have like a breakdown of what you need or what's going to be needed to bring this to where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, all the equipment, even as far as the trailer goes, right now it's sitting on one side of the county, and if we have a call, first we gotta find a vehicle to pull it. And, most of the equipment on it is either the monitors are corroded, the suits, we don't know what the suits are. It's everything almost got to be replaced. Even the chlorine kits, all the gaskets and stuff are out of there.
As of right now, we're at an awareness level.
Yes.
We can identify that that's a hazmat.
I remember when they had one, I just said,
I set a hot zone and then that's it.
We have some decons.
We
Plug
can
in, patch it a little bit, that's about it.
But that's probably a very limited amount of personnel in the county that could command and actually perform those functions.
I know we talked months ago about getting it going full force, but before we actually start, say, hey, we're going to have a meeting, we're going to start at that, we got to have some funding to get the equipment to actually do something. Where that comes from,
Where's the, if we have an incident that's not hazmat, where the team will come from?
Probably Shaw Air Force Base.
I take a act of Congress, you know.
Or the Columbia, what's the closest response to you?
Sumter has
Sumter. Sumter has, no, Myrtle Beach has, it has the current hazmat. You're 75 miles. An hour and a half.
And I know it hasn't happened much, but I like when this stuff happens. Very great with all the industries we got. All that comes up and down this road, all the rail we have, maybe not necessarily in our district. Right, can.
you really don't know what comes up down this road and what goes down the railroad. You really don't. Yeah.
Was there a committee established to do this, or what was?
Nah, I just kind of threw something together and
I mean, for, not just the policy, but the actual program, what was, I'm trying to look at
that will be Jeff Bird, Pat Kavanaugh question. They were the original.
From what we know, it's the original Cobra money that was developed in the late 90s, 2000. And that's the kind of,
One time it was very well.
I know we obviously here talked about getting this special operations team together and doing it in different branches and starting to go out to the industries and meet with them. And that's something we need to look at.
We
Once you
still
decide what level you want, you got, I feel like you got to crawl before you can walk.
Have we talked with local, some of the local fire departments on maybe trying to get this thing going?
Marshall's kind of went their own way, they're doing their own thing.
How about the city of Darlington?
I would like to see us all get together and get a county line. It would help out more if we get funding from each department. It would help them out more too.
Decide what you want to do, I think, what level, how you want to get there, put a plan together, and I think the industry will be a lot more receptive to putting funding into that, that's gonna help them and see we got something organized, official and organized and efficient, you know. That's been had that on my phone.
I bet you that every industry that carries hazardous materials in this county is getting a reduced insurance policy because of the intention of the county has a team. And if we don't have the team for response, we don't have a plan B. So,
I know dealing with, where I work, you know, dealing with the insurance companies, they limit the amount of chemicals you can have on site and store it. Correct.
if I can, I'll amend my motion to say that we table this SOG so we can make further revisions that are more appropriate for the county. Current with the, and to say, Chief Stratton, with a plan moving forward so that we can achieve a higher level of response.
I think that's your amendment. Do we have a motion? Second? All in favor? New business. Charlie?
Starting off the meeting.
Yeah.
I don't have anything right this minute. One thing I really like, Ricky, is I really don't know who's working our station.
I got something for you. I got something for you tonight for that.
And we did some training the other night and found some discrepancies. I mean, no big deal, we handled it, but it, you know, I really.
And I handled that on my usual will and second touch here.
Robert?
Not that really think of
Good. Yes, sir.
There's been a lot going on at the station too, construction wise and everything that's going on when you do full-time guys doing the shift work and all. And I personally, I think that there's been some hiccups in the road that I wish hadn't happened, but they did. But Ricky was fortunate to work through it as well as he could and did a good job, and I'm well satisfied with what's going on with the full-time guys. Training, I was here Monday night for their training, and our training also, we looked at training, and it went well. Got a lot of good information from the new firemen, full-time firemen, and I think they learned a lot.
On to quick things I got. Ricky, I sent a thing to John several months ago. He sent an email to him, we think being classic people, ICS 400. We've got Bluetooth for people throughout the county and things like that. If we're gonna make these officer requirements come effective January. ICS 400 and the flickers at Station 12. None of them are working. Service 12, Tanker 12, our engine 12 are, nobody's personal flickers are working. And we didn't have this problem to the camera system put in.
Yeah, we had that same problem, now that you mentioned.
Are y'all working again now?
I don't know. I hadn't really talked to anybody, but I know they mentioned it one time that their clickers.
Yeah, nothing's working under any engines or anything.
I don't know if it's a frequency mess up or something.
That's what I'm thinking maybe.
Well, what we're gonna try to do is move the camera and see if that helps. So we just move the camera closest to the box and see if that helps out.
Well, the antenna's coming right over the top of one of the cameras, so that very well could be what
Probably
it is.
got a lot to do with it.
That's all I got.
All right, just a couple of things, a few things actually. First of all, thank you for getting this stove and stuff. We're still kind of waiting on that to get our painting and renovation done there that we're gonna do. I know you and I both had some hiccups on getting that stuff, but we're hoping to get refocused and get that stuff here picked up shortly. Any idea on the striping on brush 15? You still have to get it striped from the.
We're able to do our own striping now, so we'll be getting it done very soon.
Okay. Talk about paint supply. I know y'all bought all the floor tape and some stuff that we were gonna start putting down at the stations to get rid of those yellow lines. That's still, getting all that there. Any update on the stuff that was stolen?
Yep.
Replaced?
It should start getting stuff in the next couple weeks, or next week, not next couple weeks, next week, and, excuse me, y'all will be getting back and put everything back on the spread.
I know we turning, I think all of us turning in a big wants and needs list. Is that, you got?
I had a very short list. I had you and Brent.
No, I'm talking about back before last budget was out. You sent in, you asked all the stations to send in a list.
I'll have to find
Anything we wanted, like struts and thermal cameras and gravel in the parking lot, all that stuff.
Specification equipment.
And if you had an update on that or something, you kind of check and see what.
I do on some of it, but not on that particular list. Just
But this, we need to bring that back up. If y'all turn them in, if you didn't, if you still want to get them turned in, I know a lot of, bring in a bunch of stuff. but-
How about we do an update?
that would be better for me.
When you
Just-
want it,
Something change over the last few months.
Before next meeting would be good, because I can compile all of it and then we'll have it for the meeting.
Couple other things, seems like there's been just a breakdown in communication, and I'm talking to myself, from headquarters to us, and a lot of stuff is going on in the district. I may be wrong, it's, people being released, people being hired, for instance. Just, I hadn't been to the last board meeting, so I don't know, I know some of the texts I hadn't got to, so maybe if I'm speaking out of turn, but I think, and maybe you don't get feedback from us either, but we gotta get that communication going. A lot of us feel kind of left in the dark. I'm not just talking, I'm talking from our station and, other talk throughout the county that I'm here, so. And, the last thing I got is, with the full-time guys now, I've heard you've got 3 guys on shift, and one of them's supposed to be like a shift leader or commander or something.
Just the senior firefighter.
Then we wanna know,
No rank.
how does that play in with us that have officer positions out in the field at night when they come out? Is it,
No different.
are they over those 2 guys, or are they gonna fall under us?
They're falling under instant command.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that there's,
Yeah.
hadn't had a real problem with, there was a little bit of, not tension, I guess, kind of trying to figure out some stuff, and I can talk to you about that more later, but I just wanna make sure what they've been told as far as the full-time staff at night, when we're out there, one of us is an officer, we got a fire scene, this shift commander shows up with 2 guys. I mean, if he's got command, that's fine, I'm not saying they can't come out and take command, don't take it that way, but I just wanna make sure who's kind of in charge of the full-time guys, when we do work with us, and
It's no different than any other person.
I think that's it from there. Thank you.
Alright, got a few things. I sent a repair list in earlier.
I just got it.
Okay.
Needs
Thank you.
already got it.
One thing we had talked about, I know me and Kenny talked about in the past, is Chiefs Association. Maybe not everybody in here wants to be a part of it. I know I'd like to be a part of it, Kenny would. Could we get the county to pay our dues in that year instead of having to come out of 1% money? I think it would benefit the county in the long run, at least having, and if y'all can't make the meeting when they have it, one of us maybe, or have a crowd there, learn more what's going on throughout the state, and benefit the county more. I would use it.
I don't mind that, as long as it's gonna get used, I mean.
Yeah.
If
Some may not be
somebody who
interested.
can't go, you know.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, the main thing is training for sergeants. Years ago, we used to have 2 or 3 classes a month. in the county. Every month we were hosting. Now we don't host any art. And if it is, it's 1152 Cole office, and it's just the same base. We don't get the leadership, we don't get the stick over, the building construction, stuff like that. You look at several other departments on the state website around us, they're hosting lots of classes. I think we need to look at revamping or doing more with our training. I know John's got a lot on his plate. If he can't handle it, we need to look at different avenues. Training with this county is, I think we gotta do better.
And I don't disagree. Before I say what I say, understand I'm not disagreeing. The past 3 years, we've tried to host multiple PITCOs, STITCOs, building construction, incident safety officers, all kinds of courses. We would show up with 2 people in the class, and the academy has to walk out. Like I say, I'm not disagreeing with you. From the flip side of that, y'all have got to make the people come to the classes when they sign up for them. And that's not happening.
And in my opinion, being more strenuous with setting something like this and making it where, okay, if you don't do 1 class a year, you're cut off. You're not along with the fire department.
And that's
or
up to y'all.
if you run 3 calls a year, you're not worth us paying your firemen's association dues and your insurance. We have to get to a point where if you're not going to run calls, you're not going to participate, then find something else to do.
You know, if dropping out of classes is a problem, hiring family emergencies and things of that nature, if they can't give adequate notice, proper notice, they get one time, and they're barred from classes for a year. So it sets a severity to it, because I can sympathize with Chief that you set up class after class after class, and all I do is get it canceled.
And what's bad is they were getting canceled the day of when the instructor walks in, and there's 2 people here, and it's not worth the academy paying them to be here, unfortunately. And I mean, I understand that side.
Well, these classes we have from federally, are they being filled?
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, it's like we're getting to firefighter 1 level, and you just plateau in there. It's not going that farther than that. It's just stuff.
And I think that's because a lot of people are seeing, hey, I gotta get firefighter 1 to get my black helmet. That's all I gotta do.
Exactly, that's all I got to do.
Yeah. Well, now we set the standards. You got to reach this to get whatever.
That was the purpose behind those standards, was to make these classes fill up, make these guys get their training. And I'm hoping that this next year, or this year, I say this year, we're gonna start seeing bigger classes and different style classes, not just what we've always had. We're working now trying to figure out how to get a trench rescue class in here, how to get confined space back again, stuff like that, for people who are way past firefighter 1, firefighter 2, fire officer, whatever.
Can I make one other comment? I know it's my turn. This kind of goes along with the saying, I meant to bring it up. I've been thinking, especially since back on the volunteer side, and I'm not in this for the incentive pay. It does help at the end of the year, but we call it incentive pay. We're running more calls now than we've ever run. Every call you run, everybody's making less money, the way we're structured right now. Would y'all be willing to, and I'll be glad to bring it back to the next meeting, something to kind of restructure our incentive pay to make it be an incentive? Not saying we have to do it, but that's something y'all would consider. I'll bring back just to look at.
Yeah, bring it back.
And I know it all come down to money, but I think if you do it right, you can still stay within the budget like we have now, but make our money go better, make that be the true incentive. If you want to do, then y'all willing to do that, I'll
Meets
bring
the
it.
minimum meetings and ran 4 calls, they're taken away.
And it ain't gonna be real in depth, it's gonna be real simple. And I'll bring that back to y'all to look at next time, if everybody's in agreement, so. Good, is it?
Chief Reed apologized for not being here. Last minute, he had a family emergency to take care of, so he asked me to step up and run down a couple of things. Taker 4 is back, thank you. But we'd also like to encourage the county to replace it. It's 22 years old. It's older than 9 of our members. It's not a big deal. Clarify. I know. Given calls as of late, we'd like to also reiterate, we need ready communications improvement. several calls in particular. Most calls, the funeral, all I hear is static, scratch, scratch, no matter where you are in the county, it's not just a Station 4 issue. I really encourage the board to come up with a plan. Something's got to change. Annual physicals, is there a plan and or a date for them?
Yes, sir, that's on my update.
Thank you. I had things asking about training, so I won't reiterate what we said. Our garage door clickers as well are not working. We do believe it is the camera placement is. Chief Flowers, if you look at the HMEP grants, hazmat preparedness grants, that pay for your CSR, your trench, your hazmat classes. We can survive in Columbia without that grant. And the CERT trailer, I'm asking they and the board to look at that as well, when we look at hazmat. It's in the same condition.
Where is the cert trailer? It's still 3?
So please don't forget about that. There's very little on that trailer that's compliant in operation.
To add on to that, I think it would be feasible if we got a big enough truck, we could put the equipment on the cert trailer and the hazmat trailer. At least to start with.
You just pick up with a box. Wouldn't that be anything massive? You'd sell your trailers.
Is there any way to try to see if we can find those service trucks that we have to use for hazmat?
What if we run just like a standard 26-foot box truck or something?
We didn't need that big.
Not that big. Because the reason I'm saying, my sister's under all the lease and everything, Penske, we're not going to jump on.
I've contacted Enterprise, I've contacted Coke just to see if they had, you're kind of throwing out there, hey, you want to donate something, but asking if they sell their old stuff.
Would rescue for sorry, I wanted to, before I figured out, Darlington Rescue selling Rescue 4, their education truck. It's been on the auction block for a couple months. It's something to consider, because that'd be about a decent size. It might be too small, it might not, but it's a 90, is it four-wheel drive? Yeah. F350 with up to 6,000 miles on it. It's run all these years, it just hasn't run very far. So that's something to consider. Because the capabilities that were built in the trailer for hazmat would take us 6-7 years to get back to. Realistically, with budgets and equipment and training, but we could do a very effective plugging down and diagnosing operations level if we put it in a smaller vehicle. I agree with Walter on that one. That's good. Same with rescue, and Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the trench stuff's in the trench trailer, and then the shirt side is, we're talking, the equipment's not big.
We have some good equipment on SEC.
Right. Just how would
How you arrange it.
Right. But then we wouldn't have trailer issues either, like towing issues. Which
Or
is
storage.
Or storage issues. Right now it takes up 1/3 of Station 4. And that truck, again, although the outside looks raggedy, we could sell them with a pretty good profit. 25-foot canyons
I think both of them.
with,
Cert
that,
trailer's
it's used.
longer.
Church trailer is longer. I think it's in the
It's
30s.
almost 40 foot long.
Yeah.
I believe it's
Yeah.
36 foot long.
Contract would beat that up. Which would provide money back into equipment and a vehicle. We're not talking about it a bunch of times, but kind of battered around that tactically would make more sense. And obviously more beneficial for paid staff to maintain and deploy. Chief, that's all I got.
Anybody else got anything? I don't know about my own notes here, myself, just yet.
Alright, we'll be the last one.
The last.
We were at my station this weekend, she came by and did some work. This weekend I'll be over at Kennedy Station and doing some work on this, one of the doors.
You ought to be recording, you know.
Huh?
You be recording, so I can prove it. Got 10 people.
Be like that.
In other words, you can't get out of this one.
Got it, man.
He's got you.
I don't have anything about it for my station.
And you're changing the lock to 15, that's the key I got from you.
Yeah, he's just gonna change, he's gonna put a mechanical deck above the lock we have now. We're gonna build that lock where you can still use it to get in and out, or when you're closing the door. The deadbolt will be what's secure, and it'll be a good combination of everybody. Not mechanical, it's not electric battery, it's just a mechanical control.
All right, so, all right.
We gotta get his equipment over $500 purchases.
Yeah, if it's off, we'll go ahead and do that. I gave everybody a trial balance, so I was doing some rough math today. Burnt pennies falling up about 6 or 7 times trying to figure some stuff out. And our equipment over $500, well, I mean, it is small. That's what everybody else has to go with. But, and I mean, everybody knows we can't buy anything for under $500, so. It's on the second page, a little over halfway down, I guess. There's $150,000 in that line item. So, here's some thoughts. We need 6 thermal imaging cameras. That'll replace Station 2, Station 3, Station 8, Station 15, Station 4, and Station 9. Rest everybody else should have new cameras. I'll say new than the last 2 years cameras. That's an option. For us to do that, it's going to cost us right at $50,000. Got a quote for a full set of TNT tools because our tools are starting to get old and we need to start getting some of these combi tools out of the stations and putting full sets in. That's going to cost us around $13,000. So there'll still be adequate funds left over afterwards for us to spend throughout the year. And this is a lot to spend at one time, but I'd like to go ahead and get this stuff done, get it all taken care of. Let me take it to council next month and go ahead and make this thing happen. And I mean, that's up to you guys. I want y'all's input on it before I go out and do anything.
Last question. About, I know, I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting old, but I think we talked one time about the trucks. The engines that had full sets of tools, we probably at least have some type of stabilization struts on them. And I don't know who's got those, I know we don't have anything on 15, I don't know who does, who doesn't.
We need something on our way.
But something else we could look at on that, see if you could get a price on that. See, I mean, I'll make a motion, we go ahead and act on these that you just mentioned. If you need a motion, I'll make a motion on that.
I'll second that.
One other option too, I know we discussed it a while back, is Engine 6 and Engine 7 both have a full set of education tools, and they're older. You trade them in, you get whatever money, and you get a full set from one of these other stations. We can put a common tool on one of the, both of those trucks don't need a full set. Put a common tool on one truck. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? With the new air packs we have that's got the thermal imaging cameras already on, and with the stations, some of the stations needing extrication equipment, I kind of feel like we need to go toward the extrication equipment.
Those are nice, but they don't take
They don't
place.
take place.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, I understand.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying, you know, the copy tools, like you said, need to be replaced because they ain't working.
2, 3, 8s is out of service. 9s is so old that it works when it feels like it. 4 doesn't have one, and 15 doesn't have one.
We have to wait for 30
Yeah,
minutes,
20
20
years old.
minutes to get a camera.
That's over than 20 years old.
Oh, it's
It's like almost 3, I think.
the first D3 that come out.
11. No, actually 11's just got updated, not upgraded, updated. We sent it back and had it updated. So it's working well. So
the one we have don't show temperature or nothing, it just shows hot, cold, hot.
I think, personally, I think thermals do the work that we can sometimes. And to have one with a large screen over the handheld devices or
Plus, doing outside surveys of structures or anything.
Ejections.
Yeah, ejections. I agree, I mean, I see what you say too, I think we could do that.
I'm reflecting, talking. Excuse me. The last call we had where we needed the combi tool on that wreck on, High Point, Galloway, High Point, Indian Branch. You know, it just did cut that door off.
Right.
And it's,
I mean, even right now, you're only at 63,000 miles out of 150. So you need 5 more tools.
And especially trading.
Economy.
what?
Seemed like it's like $4,000.
Well, we got economy
We're
too.
probably getting.
Combi tool, I know we got a combi.
We got
9, 5, and 11 have combi tools.
We have a full set of hers, full set of Ampus, full set of TNT.
And there's a local rescue squad that's selling a set of tools that I'm trying to get in touch with, and they're new TNT tools, so it's something that we're used to. I'm working on that too. So we may end up with 2 sets of tools. This may not pay full price for a set.
What's the price, y'all looked at the battery powered TNT?
Big drop.
What the price difference is in that versus the hydraulic?
They're more expensive, about 10%, 15% more on the front end, but there's no maintenance. No maintenance.
Just a thought, we're looking to move forward, I don't know.
I encourage it.
Yeah, moving forward too.
You don't have to buy the power plant, you don't have to buy the hoses,
No
batteries.
education equipment, if we're gonna stay with line tools, we maybe start looking at going into the high pressure side also, with all the oil on and everything that's coming out of cars now.
No, there's no suggestion to get rid of line tools, keep them.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But the outline stations, battery operated now, your maintenance costs will go from $1,000 a year or $800 a year to have it serviced, nothing.
Just a thought, you're looking, might want to get somebody from Jackson, come in and do a demo, or just check them out, get some prices.
I went to one of the battery demos or education equipment. I think it might have been still cheap. About 2 or 3 years ago, right down here in Junkyard.
Then you go again.
They change.
The main thing would be
That thing,
keeping
that
up
one
with the
changes.
battery change out.
Yes, 22 volt, 20 volt plus. We can run a tool in Columbia for all shift. And we switched out just because of shift change. Almost everything we have is e-draw and backup on lines. You'll be impressed with that. And from a management program standpoint, the cost, like I said, is more upfront, but you have zero residual cost.
So that was my spiel on the equipment over $500. I'm just like I've been doing everything, I'm not gonna go out and spend that kind of money without y'all knowing what's going on. It's just not fair to y'all, it's not fair to me.
How are we on handheld radios and
Just ordered 10. No, we made it order 15.
What about the 800?
Nothing yet. I mean, no more yet. That's something that I'm trying to look into. I don't know if my guy that we've been dealing with is still selling them. He was selling used radios, which were, they've been working great for us. And it was much less than buying the new radios. So I'll look in, talking to him again.
I'm not on the agenda for this, but I know we, probably all kind of look at some radio stuff. I've got a little bit of information, you want me to present it, and I'll wait till next month and bring that with the other.
But y'all got it on here.
I don't have that written down, it's just. I've done a
it's
little
just
bit of research.
discussion? Yeah, why not?
Whatever, I'll do whatever you're ready for me, y'all do that, whatever.
I'm good.
Oh, we good, all right, really.
I did get out and talk to a few departments, I got one set of policies and procedures on, we're talking about radio communication and how some of these other stations work. Just some options to think about, and I don't have anything in writing, but, I could, put something together and maybe bring it back, y'all to look at, not a policy, but just some bullet points on a very simple format to look at, but, some things to look at, if we did either 800 or VHF, or, just to kind of work on both of them, but you could change our radio protocols altogether, where your full-time staff has the radio capabilities. If you're a driver, if you're an officer, then you would have a radio that you have full command capabilities, where you talk to dispatch and you can do everything you need to do. Then you put a walkie-talkie on every truck for every SCBA. And that way, when your firefighters get there, they're gonna fight fire to get a radio off that truck. I would still say put one command radio, because none of us might not be there. Somebody's going to be able to talk to dispatch. But have one command, and you got 4 SCBAs, that'd be 5 walkies on that one truck. Some options to do that. For signing on, and really that kind of doubles that. If you did that, then the only people we sign on are people who's got the radio. So you're limited, your drivers, your officers. That'd be the only people sign on going to these calls. And you could do that with 800 if you wanted to, but always everybody is going to have a command style radio. It could be an 800 walkie, it could be the dual band. And then you put VHF, you could either have VHF radios on the truck that we can still talk to, or you could do 800 without the PAL 800 trunk and just use, can you do all the direct channels without being PAL 800? So I'm saying you have to pay a fee if you just use like the SC direct and the TAC channels?
No.
That's just radio, right?
You could turn off your tower fees.
So
Your tower fees are a lot less than your
You
state.
could have 800 radios on the truck, but just have them on those mutual aid channels. We still have that command radio.
So it'd be within the tower to the track.
Right. I just did some rough numbers. I was looking at putting, we got base stations now, and I'm not saying change that, but if we did it, this may not even be right. But I figured a base station at each station, and I'm not counting substation, we could add those in, or y'all can talk about that. But that's the base station. Roughly, probably looking at 100 radios. And we're looking at, 200 now, where everybody, 180 if everybody had a radio. And you can tweak those numbers, you can decide what you want to do. That's just some options. And talking to other departments, that's what a lot of them do. That's who gets radios.
Kershaw County's been doing it.
That's the only people that talk to dispatch. The rest of them are doing radio to radio on the fire scene, or while you're in transit, it's not done dispatch wise. Cuts down a lot of that yin and yang, and once you get your people that's talking under control, then you can put policies in place to make them adhere to it. It's hard to get 180 people to do it, and do it right, and do it consistent. So, some thoughts on that. Another thing that they did, the ones, if they do that, then all your other, and I don't know how we can, it might be trouble to monitor this, but you, like say, your full-time, your driver, your officer, they sign on, and everybody else responds on active. They actually use the active app instead of I'm responding. And if you want to see who's coming, I've been trying to do that on mine, especially if I'm not coming. But it looks like I'm about the only one that actually, everybody's watching, but I've been trying, I ain't done it every time, but I just want to do that to see if anybody's noticing it. We do have active now, it's not being utilized 100%.
90% of capabilities of active probably running via
So just some thoughts to think about. When we talked about changing it, and I can put that in writing and bring it back to y'all to tear apart, at least be thinking about on those lines.
And you're gonna have to add in your primary dispatch console.
Good. I didn't think about that.
Which is under $4,000, it's not, because of expense.
Station radio, I don't know, we can just look at all that and figure out what it would cost to do that. And I don't know anything about the E.F. Johnson, I do know E.F. Johnson, I was told was bought out by Kenwood now, so Kenwood actually owns that brand of radio. I know Clarendon County runs them, and they love them, as far as 800.
Bishopville runs it.
So, I'm not down in Motorola, but I don't know the price difference. I know the dual function 800 VHF is a lot cheaper.
I think the new motor turbos just fell way off quality of everything that they stood for.
And to answer your question, Kenwood is half the cost of Motorola, even on state contract.
And I know before, and I may talk about term Motorola, you couldn't, if you had 800 and VHF, you had to have 800 on bank 1 and VHF on 2. That's what I was told. Okay, so I was wrong.
You can put them in any zone now.
Okay. Well, I knew the E.F. Johnson, you could have 800 on channel 1 and VHF on channel 2, and 800 on channel 3. You could mix and match with all of the same zones. Okay.
Usually you just separate them so that way you don't mess it up, but for our station,
So just some thoughts, and I'll write all that down and bring it back, and we'll have it look at. I know that'd be a budgeting thing, but we could start, if you take up what we got, and get rid of it, and put that money towards it. Like I said, you got a smaller group of people actually doing that stuff, it'd be a whole lot easier for police to look at. That's it, I'm gonna rush.
Bring it back to us. Yes, we can move over, unless anybody got anything else, we'll move up to chief's update.
And I'll have this email to y'all first thing tomorrow. I thought I printed it, but I was printing a bunch of other stuff. Ordered radios and pagers, waiting on them to come in, they should be in anytime. The gear that was ordered is coming in. If y'all got anybody whose gear's still sitting over here, y'all need to get on. So,
We can ask it. Is that stuff that was just ordered for people?
yeah, that was stuff that was ordered last round. Getting ready to order six new sets of gear. I've got names from pretty much everybody who needs what, I believe. Right after we order this 6 sets, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go to council and ask to order 15 more sets. That's gonna put us at about $21,000 left over in that line item, so we should be good just in case something crazy happens. Somebody tears something up, but that'll be 21 sets of gear for this year, which is very substantial for what we need. Blood draw will be September 6th and 7th here from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Do what now?
Blood draw will be September 6th and 7th here at headquarters from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. All members have to have a current physical.
Can't do like the city.
6 a.m. what time?
6 to 8,
And that's the September the
6th and 7th.
Same ones.
Yes. Hartsville Primary Care will be doing it again this year. You'll schedule your physicals in,
We've already had physicals
bring it to us.
this year, this calendar year. We're okay.
They'll have to check off some of that.
Do you need a copy of it?
They need a copy of it. I'm not allowed, Hartsville Primary Care.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to have y'all's physicals, so unless something's wrong with it. So, and I've had a lot of people call, hey, I'm gonna bring my physical out here. Don't bring it to me. Tell your people, don't bring it to me. I do not want it. It needs to go to Hartsville Primary Care at the corner of Carolina and 2nd.
Question, how much does a physical cost the county?
I couldn't tell you, because it changes. Well, no, we're under a contract. I'm not 100% sure how much it is, to be honest.
So it's worthwhile to get guys who have a current physical with work or.
Yeah, if they can, if they'll accept that physical. Now, they will decline some. They've looked at some and said, hey, this isn't what we do to look out for you. Maybe it's not the same panel of blood tests that they do, and they're gonna tell you, you need to come get your
I know
blood.
they don't accept anything from North Greenville Feds.
No. I'm working on a forestry grant to replace the oldest brush truck pump. It looks like it's between 9 and 13 right now. I think 9's had the most problems out of it, from what I can tell. I might be wrong. Me and Nick's gonna pull some maintenance requests in the next couple weeks, next couple days and find out. Still working to acquire the land for the 2 substations. We got shot down on the one in Douglasville, which is, that's okay. I almost expected that, but we're gonna find somewhere else that it works out, and I've been working pretty hard on that stuff in the last couple weeks. There has been a proposal turned into, or being turned in to county administrator for raising the radio tower at the landfill 100 foot. And they're running maps right now to figure out how much coverage that's gonna do.
Is that raising the current tower or a new tower?
I guess raising,
Well, you have to bring it this happening.
yeah, you're gonna have to bring some of it down, so, but,
Good. Great.
I think that I will take care of a lot of problems, still waiting on the maps to come back, not really no. I'm working on trying to figure out who we can get to replace the letters. I don't want to go back on one of those signs. I want to do the letters like we have. Been back and forth about some stuff, trying to figure out if these were lifetime replacement. Nobody can really tell us, so we'll see. All the stations have cameras installed except for Station 5. Obviously, all of you know because you can't get into the station anymore. We'll work on that this week.
Next week.
Yeah, it'll be next week, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Causing you busy.
Yeah. Going into training, working on setting the date for Pump 2 through the Fire Academy and the instructor. It's more on the instructor right now. He's trying to figure out when he can do it to make it go by pretty quick. Hybrid Firefighter 1's underway. It's a pretty full class. Hybrid Fire Instructor starts August 20th, and that class is full. No more people can sign up. We're already over the limit.
There's your officer class.
Right after instructor. Hazmat awareness will start August 27th at Darlington City Fire. Contact John or Perry to sign up. Hazmat ops will follow right behind it. And we're looking to do a traditional 1152 whenever weather cools down a little bit. We've got some guys that would rather just do it the traditional way, which is completely fine, no problem at all with that. So that's all I got.
If there's anything, nothing else, motion to adjourn.
Got a motion? Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
You don't need a copy of this.
No, sir, I got it.
Should we get it tomorrow?
The realities of getting a signed partition that go really, really small.
I forgot. I'm trying to.
Sorry, it popped in my mind.
I wrote it down, but I forgot to tell y'all. While we're doing the race, I'm trying to get banners and some signs from recruitment and retention to hang up at Tanker 3. That'll catch in a ton of traffic coming in, so I'm gonna give them a stack of applications. And I'm looking to get a sign for every station to go out to the station. Not one that says looking for volunteers or anything. I want a sign that says Station 4 Mechanical Fire Station.
We had a drive up yesterday during our meeting, and they went by twice.
Okay.
That's the easy one to pass.
Oh, yeah. Even with the firehouse sign. So,
Justin, at 80 miles an hour, everything's easy to pass.
Speaking of signs, can you help us out with the issue we got at Williams Crossroad and that Marquette? They